case you are new to Sunbelt Conference or Georgia Southern Baseball on ESPN+, here is how much Georgia Southern baseball fans like watching Cole Whitney pitch. He trotted in from the bullpen, and my broadcast partner, Holden Gladys, started dancing in the broadcast booth. Holden, why is he worthy of dancing when he enters the game?
Well, Cole Whitney last year, besides some of the starting pitchers for Georgia Southern, in my somewhat professional opinion, was easily the best relief pitcher and one of the best pitchers Georgia Southern could have had. He was a transfer. He's from Campbell Hall, New York. And last year, over the course of 61 and 2/3 innings pitched, boasted a 1.9 ERA, recording 4 wins and 1 loss out of bullpen roles, keep in mind. Only giving up 43 hits, 18 runs, only 13 of which were earned, recording 53 strikeouts and only 26 walks. This guy is electric. This is his first outing of the 2019 campaign. And my fellow broadcast partner, who we talked about, Danny Waugh, who's also in the broadcast booth with us, also mentioned how good Danny was last year.
How's it going, Danny? We miss you down here, buddy. Go ahead, Holden.
He is an absolute joy to watch. A transfer that came in and was one of the go-to pitchers for Rodney Hennon out of that bullpen.
That one's in for a strike against the true freshman Austin Davis. Although you hate to double guess Rodney Hennon, who's now in his 20th year managing this Georgia Southern team, because you shouldn't double guess that man. That one's fouled back, 0-2. You can't help but wonder if Georgia Southern might still really be in contention in this game, Holden, if they had gone to him a little bit earlier instead of going to true relievers first.
Well, I also understand the wanting to get young pitchers experience, and that's part of the reason that Coach Hennon tries to schedule these games, because you want to get your young guys experience against quality opponents before you get to the Sun Belt. So I understand giving that, but Cole Whitney last year came in at 26 separate occasions, still racked up 62 innings. The transfer from St. John's, he got his outing, so he knows that he can pitch against those teams. He wants to see what freshmen can step up, and those are the two guys, Nahas and McAllister, that had fantastic outings at Auburn, so that's why we probably saw them here first out of the bullpen against another big opponent in West Virginia. But Cole Whitney is the guy that Coach Hennon doesn't really need to have proven that he knows he can call him on any point in time and he will perform. Hopefully he can live up to the hype that I set him up for.
Good job, Holden. You got him out of the inning. Cole Whitney comes out and mows down the rest of what West Virginia had to offer. But now Georgia Southern's bats have to get to work. Down 4 runs. Home opener for Georgia Southern baseball in 2019 at Clements Stadium. West Virginia on top of Georgia Southern 5-1. Greg Talbot and Holden Gladys here with you as we go to the 9th inning. And Holden, this thing started off as a pitcher's duel. West Virginia finally got to Georgia Southern once they brought in the relievers later in the game. What do you make against Southern's chances? Because this West Virginia pitching staff, I have a hard time believing they're going to give up much in the 9th.
Absolutely. Like you said, I think that Georgia Southern's really in a tough pickle here. It's been really fun game to watch, though. Like you said, we love a good pitcher's duel. You and I have said that. But also, nonetheless, when the runs do score, it's been really odd ways. Like we said, we got the stolen base from McWhorter where he scored from first.
This is Tevin Tucker over to first base. Thompson makes a good throw. That's one down. We'll next see Brandon White, then back to the top of the order for Tyler Dones. But go ahead, Holden.
Like I said, it's been a very fascinating game. The runs have come across in weird, entertaining ways. And other than that, first half was a pitcher's duel. So Georgia Southern not looking like they're going to be able to pull this one out. But we've seen crazier in this crazy game of baseball.
And we've seen crazier against big-name teams just a couple last years here at Clements Stadium as White takes a strike. Georgia Southern has done awfully good against big-name teams the last couple of years. When Georgia Tech or Clemson comes in for series, Southern wins games against those teams. Next weekend, the Georgia Bulldogs, like Auburn, who Southern played last weekend, also ranked in the top 25. They're coming to town. And the truth is, Southern wouldn't be scheduling these teams, Holden, if they weren't able to win against these teams. Like Georgia Southern took 2 out of 3 against Georgia on the road last year, as that one's over to first, and Swan will make the play. Even though it looks like Southern's going to have a really hard time getting back in this one tonight in the bottom of the ninth, I would say that they've got a really good chance to win the next two, because in case you're just joining us and haven't heard us talk about it, Southern for now is 16-6 all time against the Mountaineers.
Absolutely, they play really well against the Mountaineers here at home. And you're talking about that series with Georgia, and who Georgia Southern opened with last year at the University of Georgia, and same kind of the exact same format of how they beat Auburn this year in the second game of that series. Last year at Georgia, they lost 22-9 opening day. It's opening day, just getting the kinks out. That's okay. Winning the second game 8-3, and then losing on a walk-off 4-3 in the third game. So Georgia Southern has a record of taking it to these bigger teams.
Yeah, and frankly, you know, given the fact that Georgia is perennially a top 25 ranked team, the fact that they did last year what they did to Auburn earlier this year, as that one's hammered into right center, which is to win a game and keep it close, shows that this is a team that is not to be trifled with. 3 up, 3 down in the ninth, 3 outs to go for Southern, and they got to make up 4 runs.
The rule was made while he was in the minors.